Do you find yourself struggling to meet women through online dating apps? Are you tired of constantly swiping left with no success and not knowing what to say to get the attention of a woman? Look no further. Our expert tips and tricks will give you the confidence you need to succeed in the online dating world. It's time to start taking control of your dating life and master the art of online dating. Imagine meeting some of the most attractive women in the world. Our game-changing program will help you navigate the world of online dating with confidence and charm. From creating a standout profile to crafting the perfect message, we've got you covered every step of the way. Our program covers everything you need to know to make a lasting impression. Say goodbye to endless swiping and hello to meaningful connections with the women of your dreams. Join the countless men who have found success in meeting women through online dating by following our time-tested and proven strategies. Take the first step towards improving your dating life today. Master the art of online dating and take your game to the next level. With our proven strategies, you'll be a pro at online dating in no time. So don't wait. Go to onlinedatingfordummies.com and get started today. And take control of your dating life, and you'll be light years ahead of most men with our groundbreaking program. Get ready to swipe right with confidence and watch your success explode. So don't wait. Get started today by going to onlinedatingfordummies.com and take the first step towards finding your perfect match.
Yo, it's official. Like a referee with a whistle. So like and share this episode. So today I'm going to be talking about women that are a little that have mental health problems. You know, they're a little some people say they 5150. Some people say they're crazy. Some people say they have issues. But today, that's what I want to talk about. Now, if you live long enough, you're going to run into different types of women, certain types of women that, you know, they didn't have the best, probably didn't have the best role models growing up, best parents growing up. Unfortunately, we don't get to pick our parents in this life we live. All of us should be happy that we were born. Now, some of us might not necessarily be happy with where we were born, the situation that we grew up in. That's fair. You know, some of us might go as far as to say, I wish I had better parents growing up. That's fair too. But the good news is you're here. And it doesn't matter. It's not, you know, sometimes it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So once you graduate high school or graduate college, whichever one comes first, the good news is you can move out and create the life that you really want. If you are unhappy with how you were raised. Now, I do believe that most parents do the best they can with what they got. I didn't say all, but I said most parents. They do the best they can with what they got, with the circumstances and the conditions and the environment. All that plays a part, you know, into how we're being raised growing up. Income, and all of that plays a part, you know. Now, you might say, well, My parents were unfit. Well, you might not say that, but you feel that. You like say my parents were unfit to raise us growing up. That's fair too. That's fair. But the good news is you can create the life you want. Not only that, when you have your kids, you can give your kids what you didn't have growing up. That's the good news about this. Because, see, it's your life, you know? So at some point, all of us should take responsibility for our own lives. Now, I know this is hard for some people because some people some people will blame their parents until the day they die. Yeah, there's a lot of people out there like that. They blame everything on their parents. They might be 40, 50, 60, 70 years old, still blaming their parents for how they were raised and how their life turned out, you know. But I'm like, hey, bro, you 40, 50 years old. Well, your parents ain't got nothing to do with you being fat and sloppy. Your parents ain't got nothing to do with you drinking alcohol 7 days a week or using drugs. Your parents ain't got nothing to do with that. Now, maybe your upbringing stems from being stressed, anxiety. Yeah, but see, at the end of the day, you still have a choice. Are you willing to be a statistic? Or are you willing to go a different route? So you still have a choice at the end of the day. Growing up, you don't have a choice. You can't raise yourself. Somebody else is raising you. So that's just unfortunate, Now, I've met some women where I was like, man, this broad is crazy as cat shit. And sometimes, man, I kind of feel bad for some of the women I've met that had they didn't have the best upbringing. They didn't have the best parents in the world. I mean, I feel bad for them. Because I had, in my opinion, I had pretty good parents. I mean, I can't really say anything bad about my parents. They did the best they can with what they had, and I had a nice childhood. I didn't have no weird shit happen. They didn't do no weird shit to me. I didn't get touched or none of no weird degenerate shit by my parents. None of no weirdo shit. But this happens to a lot of kids growing up. Or they got that old weirdo uncle they got that might have touched them growing up, molested them or some shit like that. And this type of stuff affects a lot of the women. This stuff affects a lot of the women, that we meet. And like I said, if you live long enough, you're going to run into you're going to run into some woman and you're going to be like, yo, this chick is a little off. You know what I'm saying? I think there was a comedian. I think it was Richard Pryor that said he grew up in a whole house. Now, think about what that does to your psyche if you grow up in a whole house. How does that change the way you see girls growing up as a young boy? That's going to do something to you. If you grow up in a whole house, you got women coming in and out probably 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. How does that affect you as a kid? What does that do to you? Let's say your dad was a Rolling Stone. And P.S. by the way, a Rolling Stone is somebody that's got a bunch of kids and I've been around the block with a bunch of women. That's what we call a Rolling Stone. So let's say your dad was a Rolling Stone. What does that do to you? How does that affect you as a young boy or even as a man? Because what you see growing up, it doesn't go anywhere. You still got it. It's still in there. I'm saying you can't unsee what you saw growing up. Now you can always go a different direction, of course, but you can't unsee what you saw growing up. You know what I'm saying? Let's say I give you an example. There's a girl. I know plenty of girls that's like this, but I know a girl. Her mom was a hoe growing up. She told me her mom used to bring all type of dudes in day and night in the house. And they was there, her and her brother. They said all the guys come in the house. It got so bad, they end up being raised by their grandmother because the mom was a hoe, you know, and that's what she saw growing up. So how does that affect her? And she struggles with that still to this day. And she's what? About 50 years old. Of course she knows, of course she don't want to be no hoe. Of course she wants, she don't want to be like her mom. But she still struggles with what she saw growing up. Because like I said, her mom was a hoe. She know it and I know it. She told me the stories. And I didn't come out and tell her mom was a hoe. But based on the story she told, I said, oh, yeah, your mom was a hoe growing up. But that was her role model. That's what she saw. And her dad, dad wasn't too much better. Her dad was, he was kind of a Rolling Stone, you know? So your dad is a Rolling Stone and your mom is a hoe. So she's probably going to struggle for the rest of her life with what she saw growing up, you know? I mean, usually, well, no, I'm not going to say usually, but you know, there's some people that might have one parent that's kind of a piece of shit. And one of them might be decent or whatever. But what if you got both parents a piece of shit? I mean, how does that affect? How would that affect a man or woman? You know, that person would have to basically deprogram themselves if they wanted to be better than their parents. It's no other way, really. It's even hit or miss. But she or he, they're never gonna forget. You can't unsee what you saw growing up, but they're gonna see men, that woman is gonna see guys different versus having two parents growing up in a happy home, having two parents interacting with each other, hugging, kissing, laughing, you know, y'all getting together doing the holidays together, the family together, all the kids together. That's a completely different scenario. I mean, this woman, her parents never was together. It sounds like her mom was a booty call for her dad. She said they never got along. And even still to this day, they can't even be in the same room together without getting in an argument. So they never liked each other. It was just a booty call. And she wasn't raised by her mom. She's raised by her grandmother. And it sounded like it was some drug use going on amongst the both of them. You know, and P.S. And by the way, if your dad is a Rolling Stone, there's almost 100% chance there's some drug use going on. 100%. I don't know anybody that's out there that's been out there like that, running through men and women sober. That's almost impossible if you really think about it. You know how much time and energy it takes to just run through men and women like that with no stream of conscious. Even a stripper can't do that, and the strip club can't even do that. That's why a lot of these strippers are high all the time or drinking. You got to be on something to go on that stage every night. You can't be sober unless you're a psychopath. That's the only way, unless you don't have no feelings. So, you know, a lot of these men and women struggle. A lot of women that I know, they struggle, you know, that grew up like that. Mom was a hoe, you know. I mean, it's like, I feel sorry for them. But here's the thing. Though. This is a good one. I just got on What Does 5150 Girls Mean? Oh, those are the crazy girls. The girls that have mental health problems. The girls that they might be on some antidepressants, popping some type of pills because, you know, or they might smoke weed, whatever they have to do to function in society, basically. You know, they had a hard upbringing. They might have grew up in the hood, you know, and they just never they deal with it the best they can in most cases. You know, it's like they develop coping mechanisms growing up. These are the girls that I'm talking about. Where it's like you meet them, you know something's a little bit off. Something, you know, and that doesn't make her a bad person, by the way. She might be a nice girl in most cases. You know, at least when you meet her anyway. Now, I don't know about nobody else, but at least when I'm around them, they're nice. They're nice to me, right? But the longer you stay around her, you realize that, and she might even tell you. She might say, "Hey, you know, I got some stuff I gotta work on every day, based on how I was raised and who I was raised by." You know, because if a girl really likes you, she's gonna tell you. She ain't gonna keep that a secret. She ain't gonna keep you gonna know. She gonna let you know, hey, yo, I grew up hard. You know, I grew up in the hood. My mom was a hoe. You know, I was I don't know, molested or whatever. They'll tell you if they really like you like that. If they think you're serious like that. If they think it's gonna go somewhere, the relationship y'all have between each other. It's based on my experience, of course. You know? But what I would say is this. In most cases, you can't really settle with these types of women. In most cases, it's gonna take too much work. I'm speaking about me now. This is me. This is me. For me personally, I would never settle. When I say settle, I mean move in together, start a family together. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about like going on a vacation together, spending time together, or seeing each other on my free time or whatever. That's cool. Ain't not wrong with that. I mean, that's okay. But when it comes to like starting a family and I wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't do it. It's gonna take too much work, too much. They have their own problems. And see, it's not your business to try to fix people. I mean, I'm not a doctor, so I ain't. I'm not doing that. That's not my responsibility. You know. Now you do have some girls that won't tell you if they're popping some type of antidepressants. And if a girl and if you find out a girl's popping antidepressants, ask her why. I was depressed. But why? There's a reason why. It's like you go to the girl, you go to the girl house, and in the bathroom you see all kinds of pills. You be like, God damn, what's up with that? What's up with all the pills? And she might tell you, oh, I pop antidepressants, or I got high blood pressure, or whatever the case is. It's nice. It's nice to know stuff like that. And me, I don't want to be around a woman with that hella health problems. I mean, she got a list of health problems. And based on my experience in today's time, as I've gotten older, today I'm considered to be an older guy today. Believe it or not. Right? Yeah. And hey, I like being an older guy. Shit. The goal is to live to get old. That's so. Hey, I'm not afraid to get old. I'm not ashamed of it either. The goal is to get old. The goal is not to live young and die. Hell no. No. So I'm not. I like being the older guy. Hell yeah. I ain't. Man, please. I like being the older guy. You are correct. It's not our responsibility to fix someone. That applies. You think you are better than that person. You begin to feel they owe you something. Yeah, that's true. Well, everyone has to work on whatever they need to work on if they want to do it. Some people don't want it. Some people don't give a damn. Some people follow the footsteps of the people that raised them. They don't give a damn. Some people get caught up and their upbringing based on where they're from and how they were raised. That means you only wanted to fix them to control them. Yeah, some people do that too. But no, I'm not. That's not your job. Your job is to come coexist with somebody else, come together like a vessel, and y'all supposed to be going somewhere. That's how it's supposed to be. That's how relationships really supposed to be. When y'all together, y'all should be better together. That's how it really supposed to be. It's like a vessel, like a ship. It's like a Navy ship. When y'all get together, y'all supposed to, y'all supposed to be building. Y'all supposed to be going somewhere. That's that's what it's. Y'all supposed to be getting to know each other. Y'all supposed to be better with each other when y'all leave. When y'all because let's say y'all spend the whole weekend together. When y'all leave, the both of y'all should be better versus when y'all came together. So y'all meet Friday, y'all leave Sunday, y'all should be better. Shouldn't be worse. You shouldn't feel drained, drained out, no. Stressed out, no. Now, is every relationship perfect? No, ain't no relationship perfect because that's just part of life. But I would say it should be more good times, good experiences than not. That's what I would say. Because see, the reason why people have so much problems is because they're not really on the same page. One person is thinking one thing and the other person is doing another thing. See, that's not on the same. Y'all not on the same page. That's never going to work. One person is making decisions and without telling the other person. That's never going to work. That's going to crash and burn every time. It's not going to work. And check this out. A lot of people play crazy, but they're not as crazy as you think they are. Always keep that in mind. A lot of people they're not as crazy as they make it out as you might think. Cause see, I got a nephew. He's crazy as cat shit. I think my sister put him on Ritalin like a long time ago. And now today he's crazy as cat shit. But even him, he ain't as crazy as they make him out to be. You know how I know he ain't as crazy? Because the stuff that they be doing, that he be doing around my sisters and brothers and his dad and his sisters, he don't do that around me. When I come around, he gives me respect. So that's how I know that regardless of how crazy someone might be, they still know what respect looks like to certain people. So, that's how that go. That's how it is, man. But if you live long enough, you're going to run into a girl where it's like, damn, she's a little slow, and something might have happened to her growing up. I mean, you just never know. You never know what happened. Maybe her parents were abusive. Maybe her mom or dad was a weirdo. You just never know. And especially, boy, I'm not going to even go. Especially if the parents is a foreigner. Oh my God, bruh. If her parents are foreigners, boy, they treat them kids, in my opinion. And trust me, I've been around the world. I've met a bunch of people that got kids around the world. Well, in my opinion, this is just my opinion. You might disagree. They treat them kids like shit. I mean, they treat these kids badly. I mean, God damn. In my opinion, a lot of these people don't care about their kids overseas. I mean, even in America, I've said, you probably heard me say this before. I think most women in America, they really don't care about their kids. They use their kids as a pawn, leverage. The only reason school exists Because they don't got nowhere to put the kids during the day. They use the school system like daycare today, like a daycare center. This is why during the pandemic, a lot of parents went crazy. And a lot of parents lost it and got divorced. And most of the tension, most of the arguing and the bickering stem from the kids being home. Because most of the parents don't really like the kids. They don't want to be around them damn kids. That's where the problem was during the pandemic. The kids were home and they didn't have no way to take them. And the jobs were shut down. So they had no place to go. But trust me, if they could take them damn kids to that daycare center or the school and they could stay home from work, it wouldn't have been no problem with these damn parents. That's the truth. And that's the only reason school exists today. And plus, white women have mortgages too. That's another thing. These white women have mortgages, and they gotta have the kids gotta go somewhere. Now, this ain't no breaking news. Most people already know this that I hang around. Most of the people I hang around, they already know this. This is old news. You know, they gotta pay them damn mortgages. That's just what it is. You can't lay off but so many teachers. Shit, the bank ain't gonna get their money. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. It's society. Yeah. Yes, sir. Foreign parents have the slave masters mentality. They use their kids as worker bees or pawns to get stuff. Oh, hell, man, they treat these kids horribly, man. The damn kids, well, especially if it's a son. And Asian culture, the son is like, boy, they use the boy is like a meal ticket to these damn parents. The son is like, it's all on him when he become an adult. You know, now you would think that how come her husband can't be the meal ticket? You know why? Because the husband failed in most cases. The husband failed. So that's how the young boy becomes the meal ticket. I'm telling you what I tell you what I know. I've seen it. And I met, I don't know how many people. I met thousands and thousands of people. Millions of people at this point. From all these, I met people from all these damn countries at this point. You know, it's the game is cold out here, man. Many foreign parents have mental illness and are not just coping with the pain from childhood. Mental health is non-existent in third world countries. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, when it comes to being in these people from these in other countries, they just deal with the craziness. They don't really have no. I never heard nobody talk about mental health problems in Japan, Korea. They don't even talk like that. Nah. But if you've been around and met so many women, you know something's wrong with you to be even thinking like that. I'll give you an example. This is a good example. Let's take cartoons for a second. Let's take cartoons. Now, I don't know about you, but I've been around long enough to know that when I was growing up, I was looking at Bugs Bunny. This is the Transformers. These are cartoons I was looking at growing up. Bugs Bunny cartoons, Transformers, He-Man, stuff like that, right? So, you know, it's just regular cartoon. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? This shit is for kids, right? But these other countries, their cartoons consist of a boy kissing another boy, a girl kissing another girl in the cartoon. You might even have somebody naked in the cartoon, right? Now, I ain't never seen nothing like that growing up, as a kid looking at cartoon, right? I was told by some of these girls, and we're the same age, and they from places like Japan, Korea, Vietnam, Laos, you know, India. They told me they were looking at cartoons like this in the 80s and 90s of boys kissing boys, girls kissing girls in the cartoon. They were looking at this in the 80s and 90s. And I'm telling them, I ain't never seen no shit like that. So they've been looking at this type of shit. A long time ago. It ain't today, they showing all this shit today over here. So that's what these are the types of people you meeting. They look at this type of stuff, these type of cartoons, it's normal to them. So if their kids is watching this, they might not necessarily see anything wrong with it. So I'm telling them, I'm like, I don't think that shit cool. I don't want my kids to be looking at no two boys kissing in the cartoon. I got to explain that shit. I don't want to have to. So they think this is normal behavior, but not to us. There's something wrong with that to me. This is that's a good example of what I'm talking about. It's like, I don't know about that, man. I can't roll that one. Nah, I can't roll that one, man. That's kind of tough. I can't even work that one out. Nah, I'll pass on that one. But that's what I'm talking about. And then they don't like to talk about a lot of different things. Of course, it happens, but they don't want to talk about it. It's like, just go out and do it and come back home. Just don't. If you talk about it, to them, that's kind of a form of weakness, or they get offended. Yeah, they get offended of a lot of things that you might talk about, because they don't want to talk about it, because they've been conditioned not to talk about it. So I'm like, hey man, that's kind of crazy. What? I don't know about that. I mean, if you want things to get better, and you want to make sure that y'all on the same page, to me, it would make sense that we have to talk about whatever the problem may be. But that's what you're going to run into. Also, many foreign cartoons, people get killed. That's another thing. I can't remember of any cartoon where I saw anybody get killed. They don't kill nobody in Bugs Bunny. I can't remember. I can't remember. That's, I was amazed as a teenager that characters in Japanese anime for kids actually got killed and showed blood. Yep, there's some blood in the anime Japanese for sure. See, I didn't see any of that growing up. And I realized that they actually like violent shows and it doesn't matter if it's cartoon or not. They just like violent shows. They like shows and movies that with a lot of violence in it. I realize that. Any show that don't got no violence, they probably won't like it in Japan. It's like, but here's the key. Over there, they don't say she got mental health problems. They don't say that. They don't even talk like that. It just kind of everyone just keep living. It's just a weird situation, but that's usually how it go. E-Man never punch anyone, only the screen. Exactly. Third world countries, people are cutthroat, not just Asian, but black countries. Yeah, all these countries, man. Look, I know people from Nigeria, uh, Sudan, uh, Johannesburg, Liberia, Libya, Niger. I know people from damn near all of them damn countries on the continent of Africa. I know people from all. I met people from all of them, and they all cutthroat. You got that right. Yeah, they all cutthroat. You know. I had a girlfriend that was from Nigeria, and man, you know what? This girl was wild as hell. This girl was wild as hell, man. Now here's the thing. She didn't bring none of that wild shit around me. But when she would leave and go home or wherever she would go, man, she would have all kind of drama going on. Her grandmother told me. That's how I found out about it. She said, man, she have all kind of shit going on. I remember one time she told me to meet her at her grandmother's house, right? On this particular day. And I pulled up, and there was a guy that was about to slap her. And I was like, what the hell going on, man? So they arguing, and he about to slap the shit out of her. I'm like, what the hell? Yeah. So he's telling me why he's about to slap her. And I'm like, I don't know what to say. I'm like, man, I ain't got nothing to do with me, bro. I don't know what shit. I don't know. I don't know. But she was a fucking loose cannon, bro. But she ended up moving to Boston. And boy, that was probably the best thing, She ended up moving to Boston, and she moved to Raleigh. And she got rich. That's right. She got rich. She ended up going to medical school, and then she became a nurse, and then she started the home nursing care business, and that's how she got rich. But she's cutthroat too now. But check this out. Still to this day, she still respects me. She never brought no bullshit ever. And the crazy thing is, almost every birthday she either calls or texts me happy birthday. I'm telling you, every birthday that I have, she either calls, texts, and wish me happy birthday. And and she's married. You know? But back then, man, she was the perfect girl. As far as looks, how she looked, oh, perfect. The perfect girl. And yeah, I think I might have showed a picture of her a long time ago on one of my live broadcasts. This is like I think I might have did it last year. She was the perfect girl at the time. But it was a lot of shit that comes along with her. And I was like, yeah. So when she ended up moving to Boston, I said, oof, maybe that's a good thing. For real. Third world countries, people are not just, oh, yes, Alabama in the house. You must have really put it down on her. Yeah, I did. I sure did. I sure did. I ain't gonna front. I can't front on that. Yeah, but it's just you just have to be aware of this stuff when you meet these different types of women. And a lot of them, man, they've been through shit, man. They've been through all type of crazy shit, all type of craziness. And that shapes their way of thinking. How they grew up, what happened to them. Yeah, people can change. Of course people can change. But they usually don't. They usually don't. People are struggling with trying to be better every day. I know people that's like this. I know women that are like this. And I talk to them, some of them, all the time. Or keep in contact with them all the time. And they tell me how some of them have to go to a psychologist every once in a while, because they say, man, I don't want to. A lot of them felt like they were on the verge of, destroying everything. Yeah, a lot of them said, man, a lot of them tell me, man, I had to go talk to somebody, man. I felt like I was about to lose it for a second. I felt like I was mad at the kids. I wanted to do something to them, and it felt like she wanted to get a divorce and felt like she wanted to end all her friendships that she worked so hard to get over the past couple of years. She a lot of them said, man, she caught a little spell for a second. That's a lot of women struggle with shit like this. And they're already emotional as it is. And one woman was like, man, I had to go talk to somebody, man. She said she didn't want to listen to her husband no more all of a sudden. I was like, why is that? She's like, man, I don't know. Something just came over me. I said, oh, Lord, you all right? She said, yeah, I had to talk to somebody, man. She said, it's a struggle out here for me. I'm telling you, because see, what it is, you can know what to do or know what you should be doing, but that's easier said than done for some people. Some people be like, man, I had to take a little drive, and come back home. It's hard on some of these women out here, men and women. But I'm talking about women because, I'm a man. I like women. It's hard for a lot of women out here, man. They can know what to do, but it's kind of like, damn. And plus, when they get overwhelmed, oh, yeah, boy, this is a big one. When a lot of these women get overwhelmed, boy, that's when they get stressed out. And that's when a lot of that shit comes out that they're dealing with. Yeah, that's it's like if you know a girl that's already having a hard time as it is, well, maybe she got some family problems or she's stressed out about the job. The last thing you want to do is to make things worse. You don't want to say or do anything that's going to put fuel to the fire. You want to do the opposite. Because if you do or say anything to set her off, boy, it's going to go left real quick. It's going to go left real quick, boy. Yeah, because, she already stressed out already, about her parents or the job or whatever the case may be. And you coming in there, saying something negative, oh boy, that's even worse, And a lot of times, check this out, something that I didn't know. A lot of times, a lot of women will call you or contact you to hear what you have to say about what they might be dealing with a lot of times. And the reason why that is because they think highly of you. They trust you. That's what that really comes down to. That's what it comes down to sometimes. And you can kind of tell if a woman thinks highly of you because she just ain't going to do a lot of the bullshit she would do around these other dudes that she might be around. So that's how you can kind of tell. You're like, oh, okay, she got her little ways, but she's trying. She ain't disrespectful. She's the opposite. She's very respectful. And she's self-aware. She asks a lot of questions. She pay attention. She listens a lot. That's how you know, okay, this chick is really digging me. She's showing approve. She might be dealing with some stuff at home or on the job or with her crazy parents, her crazy mama. And see, that mama is a problem. That crazy mama is a problem for her. And she know it. And the bad news is nobody can help her with her crazy mama. Because see, her mom might be an old hoe that knows what to say to set her daughter off. And she know her mama's an old hoe. But you can't say that. The best you can do is hear her out, let her vent, and that's it. Now, don't be like some of these other guys out here. These other guys some of these dudes out here are crazy. They'll start, once the girl start telling you about her mom or her dad, some of these guys will be like, yeah, your mom wasn't shit. That's why she's a damn hoe. No, don't say that shit. Now you out of line now. You out of line now. You out of pocket for saying that, bro. You can't call nobody parents a no good piece of shit. No, you can't say that. You out of pocket for doing that. You can't call the girl mama a dirty rotten bitch. No, you can't say that now. You might be thinking that, but you can't say that. No, you out of line now. You might have your ideas, but now no, you can't say that. That ain't your job. No, no, nope, don't do it. If you do that, you're gonna become the enemy, her new enemy. Even if it's true, that ain't your job. Your job is not to judge people's parents and speak your opinion. No, no. Let her. She's the only person that can take care of that. No. She's the only person. You can't help her with her parents. You can't. Just like she can't help you with your parents. If you have a bad parent, y'all going through it. You going through it with your parents. She can't help you. Nobody can help you with that. That's really on you. Nobody can really help you. Now you can listen to people's opinion of what they would do in a certain situation, but as far as being judgmental, that ain't your job to, to get in the name calling. No, nah, that's not. And plus, that's not gonna go well. There's no woman gonna like that. No man or no woman gonna like you talking about their parents or talking about their relatives. I have a call a spade. Nobody's gonna like that, regardless of how awful the parents may be, or the relatives, or the family might be. Nobody's gonna like that. It's like I can talk shit about my family all day long, but you can't. Most people are like that. It's like I remember one time I was with somebody. I was with some girl, and her mom started talking shit about her in front of me, right? And I'm just looking like, what should I say? How should I handle this? So what I did is I said, "Hey, mom, I'm gonna go outside because I can't I refuse to sit here and let you say all this bullshit about your daughter." That's exactly what I said. And she never did it again. But if I would have said, "You dirty rotten bitch, you don't even act like a mom." It's like if I would have said that, see, that would have went left. The mom wouldn't have liked it, and the daughter wouldn't have liked it. That just doesn't go. That don't go over well. Let people see reality for themselves. You got that right. Nothing you will say will erase the illusion of how good their parents are in their heads, even if it's a lie. People will believe their own lie over the truth. Yeah. Some people, mental psychology will break when they see their parents for who they truly are, because they wanted a sitcom family they never had. Yeah. Some people have their own psychology of how they want to see their parents. And there's a lot of truth to if a lot of people really looked at their parents for who they really was, a no good for nothing piece of shit, that would break them. A lot of people would probably go into they probably would go off the edge. A lot of people, they probably would become one of these school shooters out here. They'd be like, "Man, I'm tired. Fuck the world," and go to one of these damn colleges and go postal. You got some people, some people probably take it there. Especially in this day and time where the illusion is better than the truth in this society. There's no benefit to telling the truth. You don't get rewarded for telling the truth today. Yeah, there's certain environments. Yeah, but I'm saying in the mainstream media, you don't get no benefits. And on the job environment, You don't get no benefits from telling the truth. Zero. Now that's either true or false. That's either true or false. And based on my experience, it's true. You don't get rewarded for telling the truth on the job. You tell the truth on the job, man, they see you as a troublemaker. In most cases, either you're gonna be a troublemaker or nothing will happen. No response. But no response is a response. But that's usually how it goes. And if you look at the mainstream media, most people that get on there and try to tell the truth, they cut them off. They make them look like a fool. You know, they start telling them, oh, it's a conspiracy that you're talking about. Where's your proof at? And then as soon as you try to tell them where the proof at, they cut you off. So it's, that's usually how it goes. At the end of the day, the lies work better. The lies work better in this society. Now, if you're going to tell the truth, you're gonna have to do it for you. It's gonna be your own motivation to do it. You can't tell the truth, or you shouldn't tell the truth and look for validation from someplace else. Look in the mirror. That's the best place to get it. And that's where we at in this society. But man, it's like, but based on my experience, it's very difficult to settle down with these types of people, these types of women. But when I say settle down, I'm talking like move in together, start a family. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to do it. And me personally, I wouldn't do it. I would rather us, get to know each other. You work on what you need to work on. That's it. Now, I don't want to have kids with you. No. The baby might come out just like you. I don't want to do that. You got mental health problems, the baby might come out. No, I don't want to do that. No. We can spend time together, get to know each other. We can go on a vacation. We can even go on a vacation together. But to get married and no, I wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't do it. I made the mistake one time. This is when I didn't know any better. I actually moved in with a woman that were popping hella pills at the time. She was popping hella pills. She was popping Ritalin, and she was on high blood pressure medicine. I didn't know. I didn't know she was popping pills like that, on medication like that. And man, when she would pop them damn pills, she'd be crazy as cat shit. I'd be like, God damn, this. She was a hard person to live with at the time. I think I might have lasted 2 months. Every other day she'd be threatening to kick me out. And I like, when I got me a job, I'm like, I'm out. I didn't even wait until I got I didn't even wait till I got paid. As soon as I got a job offer, I'm out. she was a very hard person to live with and be around. She was nice in the beginning, but once I got to know her, I was, oh, you just a mental case. And then I went to her house and I opened a cabinet in the bathroom. Man, there were all kinds of pills in there. Some of them damn pills, I couldn't even pronounce the word. And I'm like, whoa, she on that heavy duty shit. The issue is most people can't tell themselves the truth because they can't even look themselves in the eyes in the mirror. They live in a fantasy world. Boy, you got that right. Whew. You got that right. They live in that fantasy world for sure. I'm telling you. You know, that's why. And plus, you got some of these people with mental health problems. As soon as they feel like you stressing them out too much, they'll just cut you off without telling you. What kind of shit is that, man? That you can't. This is why I say you can't be in a committed relationship with them. Because they'll just wake up one day and be like, man, I don't want to do this no more. You're stressing me out. And cut you off. And you won't even know. A couple of days might go by and you'd be like, oh, I'm going to text her, see how she's doing, or call her, see how she's doing. No answer. And then you'd be like, damn, that's kind of strange. She ain't text back. She ain't answer the phone. It might be a month might go by. And then you call her one more time. Then she'll pick up or respond. I'll be like, hey, what's going on? How come you ain't been responding back to my calls? She's like, oh, I don't want to do this no more. I don't fuck with you no more. I'm like, what? How come you didn't tell me? You didn't think I should have known? Like, well, whoop-de-woo, she'll come up with some old lame excuse. See, that's not normal. That's not normal functioning person. How you gonna be in a relationship with somebody like that? How you gonna live with somebody that's like that? Be married with somebody that's like that? No, she got issues. She got issues, man. And most of the time, they never get past the issues. They never do, in most cases. I mean, especially if your mom, especially if the mom was a hoe. Do you know what that? I don't think a lot of guys understand what that does to a woman. That does to a little girl growing up. I don't think a lot of guys actually understand what that does to a woman growing up, a little girl growing up. If her mom is a hoe, oh my God, that destroy a bitch. Man. I mean, she only gonna see guys as a tool. Something she can use up when she feel like it. Even if she gets help, it's still gonna be a struggle. Because you can't unsee what you saw. Your mom did. Your mom bringing in guys every other day is a different guy. Or probably every day is a different guy. You done seen more guys than your age. You might be 17. You probably done seen your mom bring in hundreds of guys. By the time you're 17 years old. And she done smashed all of them. And this is the girl you trying to date. This is a girl you trying to get to know. So how you think she gonna see you? I'm just saying, how you think she's gonna see you? It's probably not gonna be the way you would like. And she might, deep down, she might know that she don't want to be like that. She don't want to be like her mom, right? But she's probably going to struggle with that every time she's around you. Every time she's around you, she's going to struggle. She's going to be like, oh, God. I know this guy likes me. I like him. But I got my demons. You know? That's how it is, man. You know? That's how it is for a lot of these girls out here. Think about a girl that's from Colombia. Think about a girl. I done met a gang of women that's from Colombia. And you know what? I never trust none of them that I've met. Not one. Not one. I never trust no girl I met that was from Colombia. And almost all of them were doing some type of hoeing. They're what I call they're opportunists. They're not like that with every guy. It wasn't like that with me because I ain't paying. I ain't no trick. But they were opportunists. And you don't know why they were like that? They grew up like that. They grew up in an environment where, how should I say this? The cocoa leaf is everywhere. Like, that's just what Colombia is. We all know how Colombia came about. We know what Colombia is known for. That shit is everywhere. We know, especially people that's been out in them streets. They know. But I've never trusted no Colombian girls. Not one. Not one. Yeah, but a lot of them look good. But I don't trust them. Now, do I trust being around them for a while? Maybe a weekend? Yeah. But when I'm moving with them, get married to one? No. Why is that? I don't want to be associated with no woman. I don't even want to visit Colombia. I don't want to be around no place that's known for the cocoa leaf. I'm sorry. No, I don't want to be around that. No. And nobody talks about it. They don't talk about it online. They don't talk about it among, and even the most Colombian girls I met, they don't talk about all the drugs that's down there. They don't talk about it. It's kind of like let's act like it doesn't exist. But I know better. I know better. And see, a lot of these guys that go down to Colombia, that's what they into. They don't tell you how they be getting high all the time. They never talk about it. They just talk about how good the girls look. Yeah, but what about you? You getting high down there? I know why you keep going. You keep going down there paying off your trick tab, and you're getting high and partying at the same time. Man, come on, man. I know the game out here that's being played with a lot of these people, a lot of these guys. Some of them online, you know. But I don't want to be around that environment, period. I don't. It's cutthroat down there, too. Now, the only place I would go that I've never been is Brazil. I'll go to Brazil. I can't speak Portuguese, but I'll go. You know, I mean, and one I know. I met some some cool people that's from Brazil. So that, I felt like they're trustworthy. But not Colombia. Not Mexico. I've been to Mexico. I don't trust them. I don't trust them bros like that either. Nope. Nope. But that's just me. You might have a different have a different experience than me with a lot of these women. But that's great if you had a better experience than me. But I don't want to be around that type of environment where the cocoa leaf is everywhere. Yeah. I know guys that went to places like Colombia, Mexico, Chile, Peru. They didn't make it back. And you want to know why they didn't make it back? Because they were living the fast life, and they were rolling with the wrong people, the wrong woman. They actually trusted a woman that they really didn't know. Nah. Nope. They actually went. Let me tell you, I know guys that went to a country for the first time. The only person they knew is the girl that they met online. I would never do that the first time. No, I would never do a thing like that. What I would do, I would meet her in another location, in a mutual location. I would do that. But I'm not flying all the way to your country the first time. Oh, hell no. You talk about a recipe for disaster. Now, if I'm already going there for vacation and she just happens to be there, okay, so be it. But if we're supposed to meet up for the first time, I'm not. No, you're gonna have to meet me somewhere else. You're gonna have to sacrifice just like I have to sacrifice. You have to get on a plane just like I have to get on a plane. You have to pay money just like I have to pay money. There ain't gonna be no, oh, I'm making all the sacrifice, flying, paying, time, and you get to just wake up, get out your bed, get ready, and meet me at the airport. That's it? Oh no. Nope. And this might be a setup. I don't know you. You don't know me for the first time. I don't know you from a can of paint. You might be a killer, a murderer. You might be trying to set me up. I don't know. The game is cold out here. You play hardball with them, I see. Well, I guess you can call it that. I guess you can call it that. But you got to look at it like this. I don't have to leave and go anywhere. I can stay over here. I don't got to go nowhere. Just like her, she don't got to leave and go nowhere either. So if I have to sacrifice, she had to sacrifice. Yeah. If I stay where I'm at, my location, I'm completely fine. No problem. I know plenty of people. I know plenty of women all across America. I don't gotta go nowhere. Shit. If I want to meet a Colombian girl, shit, I go to Florida. I don't gotta go. I go to Tampa Bay or South Florida. I don't gotta go. I don't gotta go to Colombia to meet a Colombian girl. And it's Tampa Bay and South Florida. That's where they at. And even where I'm at in North Carolina, yeah, a lot of them here too. I know exactly where to go if I want to meet a Colombian girl or a Puerto Rican girl or Mexican girl, whatever. I know exactly where to go. Right now, I get dressed and go downtown. They be there every night. And a lot of them don't have green cards. A lot of them are here illegally. So the chances of me meeting one of those girls, especially if especially if they're here illegally, the chances of me getting cooperation is very high. And a lot of them can barely speak English. Oh, I really don't have to get on the plane. If I'm looking for a Colombian girl, or a Mexican girl, or a Brazilian girl, they already here already. They jumping the border every day. So if I happen to connect with somebody online, me going to where you at for the first time don't make sense. It really don't make sense if you really, just logically speaking, if you really think about it for the first time. Now, if she come to where I'm at the first time and everything goes well, okay, yeah, I'll go visit you the next time. Yeah, that's okay. I ain't got a problem with that. Not at all. Because if you come to visit me the first time to where I'm at, I mean, by the time it's time for me to go to where you at, I already have a pretty good idea what type of person you are. At this point, you know, I already know if I can trust you or not. I already know what type of person you are. It's really four types of people. It's really four types of people, really. Really, this is how I see it. I talked about this in previous video. I'm gonna write about this. I got a new book coming out. Probably probably December. New book coming out. I talk about, four types of people you're really gonna meet. And it's not, once you know these four types of people you're dealing with, within seconds, within 5-10 minutes, I can tell what type of person I'm talking to. And you good, you can stay or move on. Once I understand what type of person I'm dealing with, and if I don't want to be around that type, I move on. I say, hey, nice talking to you. You have a nice night or have a nice day. That ain't my speed, And plus, the good news is I've been living long enough. I done met every type of woman you can imagine. Every type. From the street hoe to the girl in the ivory tower. I met every type of girl you could imagine, you could think of. I met them all. Yeah, so I can just pick up on certain things. I'm like, oh, okay, you one of them types, you know. Okay, I ain't looking for that. I don't want to be around that, you know. And a lot of times the vibe is off. If the vibe is off, I'm out. I'm out if the vibe was off. And see a lot of, and I've learned a lot of these other girls. They might look good. Yeah, she might have a big ass. Might have a nice ass. But once I get to talking to her, I'll be like, oh, okay. Oof. Oof. I'm ready to go now. I just got turned off. You might have some big butts and tits. But boy, that brain is thick. That ass is shooting out of that pants. But that mind ain't right. So that ain't gonna work. I'll be turned off. I saw a girl like that the other day. I'm like, man, that ass is bam, bam. She got T. What I call it. She got TB, tits and butt. She got TB, tits and butts. But you talk to her, I was like, oh God. Oof. Talking to her is like talking to a damn brick wall for 10 minutes. I'm like, oh, it's nice talking to you. Ooh. And she was from where the hell she was from? She was from Mexico. She was from Mexico. She was from Mexico. So that damn house probably full up with people. Shit. That damn house full up with people, man. Yeah, damn. Shit, ain't no privacy over there. Damn. So hey, man, that's all I really had to say. It's been real. Hopefully, share this. Hopefully, I said something that made you think. Because at the end of the day, it's about living your best life and living life on your terms without selling out. Don't sell out. Don't sell your soul to the devil. That's what it's really about at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, good game. All right, that's cool, man. Don't sell out. I'm out. Did you like that video? If you want more of that, it's right here. Boss Life Secrets on Amazon.com. And share this video. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.